Good evening, everybody. My name's Nicola Fulton, and it's really great to be here at my first in-person Data Bites, and thanks to Gavin and Public Digital. And now my eye is on that clock, that doomsday clock, but I'll try not go over. So I've been invited to talk about the first ever Statistics Assembly for the UK. The Statistics Assembly is hosted by the UK Statistics Authority, and we're doing it in partnership with the Royal Statistical Society as per the graphic. I'm actually from the Office for National Statistics External Affairs team, and we are very much doing a lot of the logistics because we're one of the bigger organisations within the UK stats system. So, before I talk too much in detail about the Assembly and what it is and why we're running it, I thought it might be useful just to give a brief overview of the UK statistical system. When I started a couple of years ago, it was a slight sort of miasma, so I thought that might be just a good place to briefly start. So, the UK Statistics Authority comprises a board and a chair, which is Sir Robert Choate, and then sort of key elements feed in and report into that authority board, including the National Statistician, Sir Ian Diamond. ONS, as I've mentioned, is one of the biggest producer and publisher of official statistics. You've got a range of government departments who also produce stats, known as the Government Statistics Service. And then, of course, you've got the three countries across the nations in Scotland, Wales and the Northern Ireland Executive. And then also feeding in is the Office for Statistics Regulation, who regulate ensuring that stats are being produced in a way that is for the public good. And then, of course, you've got all the user communities, and in part that is, very much what the Assembly is seeking to do. So, on to why a Statistics Assembly? Well, I'm hoping that, given that we're all here for Data Bites, we have some agreement in the power of statistics and data as a really sort of powerful tool. Insights from statistics are used for economic policy, healthcare, schools planning, better understanding of populations. So there's many demands and many uses of statistics. Last year, there was an independent review into the UK statistics system led by Professor Denise Leavesley. Her report was published earlier this year, and in it she recommended the need for the UK Statistics Authority Board to consult widely to understand and determine the UK statistics priorities and data needs. That was sort of her first recommendation from her report. And from that, she proposed establishing an assembly to enable wide-ranging discussions on user needs, strategic gaps and priorities. And I've put a link to that report, so you can see that when we share. So, what will the assembly look like? So, we're absolutely determined that if you sign up and there's details of how to do this, you're not going to be coming to a conference. It's not about us sort of doing a show and tell of lots of good things happening, though, I'm hoping that will come through. But it's essentially going to be a day event in the end of January in London. But it will also be online for those who are not able to travel to London. And we're seeking a wide range of users and producers to come together to really discuss needs, priorities and gaps. Our approach has been to be really collaborative from the start. We want to ensure a diverse and inclusive event. So as well as partnering with the Royal Statistical Society, we've set up an Assembly Delivery Group who we're designing the process with. That includes representatives from all sectors. So we've got UKRI, we've got Joseph Rowntree representing the charity sector, we've got British Chambers of Commerce representing business, we've got the Academy of Social Sciences, etc. We've got local government and reps from the Four Nations. And we're really deeply grateful for their input and their insights as we shape the Assembly design, because it's the first time that any Assembly for Statistics has been done like this before. So it's very much something that we're designing and we're reflecting and we're learning as we go along. We've had a call for contributions, which actually closed at the weekend, and we've had a huge number of contributions in to really inform the agenda and the group discussions, which we're going through. I mean, that's what we're very much going through now, to really shape the agenda. And while the agenda, we've not published the agenda because we're looking at all the contributions that we've had in, where we've asked, a cross-sector of users, producers and regulators to tell us what they would like to come to discuss. The agenda is likely to include up to 15 different discussion groups running concurrently throughout the day on topics, and they may be such as population migration, economic, health, care, skills, etc. There are some really core statistics that we would be unlikely not to have as a key discussion topic, as well as cross-cutting themes, very much sort of linking into what Craig talked about around data linkage, around regional and local statistics, around quality, trust, and so on. So just to wrap up, who's the Assembly for? Well, it's for everyone. It's for you in the room and online. It's for users, producers and regulators. And we are specifically really seeking a very cross-sector representation from government, from business and industry, from civil society and charities, from research, education and so on. And then just to wrap up, so the Assembly's not just about turning up for a nice event and having a few sandwiches on the day. The chair of the UK Stats Authority Board has invited the National Statisticians Expert User Advisory Group to compile an advisory report from the Assembly, which will be presented back to the board. That report is designed to inform short and longer term planning. And we hope that might also, given we are all working in a finite financial envelope, we are hoping that might also help open up possibilities for other stats from other non-government sectors and indicate where some of those gaps might be. And then an annual public lecture will take place sort of next year, where we will set out the work and the priorities from the Assembly. So, I realise I'm out of time, I'm bad, but what you can do, essentially, get involved, come along, you can register. I'm sharing some links in the next slide, and you can also flag that the Assembly is happening to colleagues who might be keen to participate. And here is just a wrap up of some of the key points. So happy to take questions.